down. You're watching Go Island, and today we're learning how to choke. This is Robert Bernacki. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we're also going to learn how to break elbows. Okay.
Coming up today on Go, getting power from wastewater in the regional district of Nanaimo, hurling haggis, and another new year. That and more today on Go. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're here inside the personal training room at the Nanaimo Athletic Club. That is Robert. He's with Island Top Team that operate out of the club, and he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And we're getting a bit of a sample of what a private class might look like today. It's all about self-defense, but in becoming more able to defend yourself should the need arise, you can build confidence and increase strength. So it is part of an exercise routine, if that's how you want to look at it. We'll be back with more from Robert later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, getting power from wastewater. Kelly Robinson has the latest from the regional district of Nanaimo. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're doing sort of a sampling of a private Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class here at the Nanaimo Athletic Club. This is Robert with Island Top Team. Why are we on the ground?
Okay, well, that's an excellent question, first of all. A lot of people who are not familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wonder, why do you fight on the ground? And the reason is simple. In self-defense, for the most part, you're learning to defend yourself against people that are larger and stronger than you. Otherwise, why would you learn self-defense?
Right.
And so...
Then you're just a bully.
Exactly, exactly. So on the ground, what we're able to do is we're able to separate a person's strongest body movement, which is their leg press or their leg curl. So the strongest muscles in your body are your quadricep muscles.
Right.
When we're standing, we all have access to those muscles and we can use them against you. So if I'm trying to push you, I'm using my legs to generate force. If I'm trying to punch you, I'm using my legs to generate force. On the ground, we can bypass the person's legs and use the force of our entire body against their upper body, their torso, specifically their arms or their neck.
So it's more than just core.
More than just core, it's everything. What we're doing is we're taking somebody's, whatever your potential strength is or potential ability is, and we're cutting it at least in half, sometimes more than that.
Okay.
So for example, on the ground, I would be looking to get you on your back and get past your legs, right? So if, not in between your legs.
There are occasions where that happens,
right.
No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Not in between your legs, past your legs.
Okay.
Completely different goal.
Okay.
So right now, you would be using the position that we call the guard, which is any format where you're using your legs to stop me from doing something is called the guard. So you could have your legs around my waist. You could have your feet hooked under my legs to elevate me. There are a lot of things you could be doing.
Right.
Once I get past,
right,
because they're strong.
Strongest part.
Once I get past your legs, now I'm just dealing with your arms and your neck.
Okay.
So
we're more equal now.
Well, no, we're not even remotely equal,
Okay.
I mean, other than the fact that I'm bigger than you. But if you were bigger and stronger than me, right now, your legs have a hard time affecting me. So I can use my whole body to isolate, let's say, your arm. So if you were trying to push me off of you, I could arm lock you and break your elbow.
Yes, I could feel that.
Yeah.
But my first instinct when you're on top would be like to bounce you off.
Right, exactly. So that's called
because that's where my force is.
That's right. That's called a bridge. So you go to bounce me, and nothing happens. Because I have the ability to shift my weight, and you don't have the ability to control where I shift my weight.
Okay.
The only position on the ground where the person on the bottom has an advantage is the guard that I was just mentioning.
Okay.
And so if you come onto your knees. Okay. Now in this case, because I can control your hips, I can move you around and I can affect where you go. And because I still have my arms free, I could still break your arm.
I always wonder what I get myself into. We're going to talk a little bit later about how this is different from wrestling, and then we'll get into the, I guess, the specifics of breaking that elbow. Maybe I could even do it, not for real. In the meantime, we're throwing things over to Jocelyn Matwee. It's all about haggis. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Before we were talking about hurling haggis, Robert here with Island Top Team was hurling me across the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mat. And now you're going to sort of give a little back and let me show me how to do what you were doing to me?
Absolutely. I'm going to
Okay.
teach you how to break someone's elbow if you find yourself on your back defending yourself against a larger opponent.
Okay.
All right? So get on your back.
Okay. So, okay.
All right, so as we were mentioning earlier, the only position here where you have any advantage is the guard. And the reason for that is because you're able to apply the strength
Now,
of
when
your
you
legs.
say the guard, what is
Yes.
the guard? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so the guard is the position where you are able to use your legs
Okay.
to prevent me from putting any pressure on you,
Right.
but also to control my body.
Okay.
All right, so if you, for example, keep your feet on my hips and open your knees up a little bit, there you go. See how you can
Yeah.
you can keep me away. If
Yeah.
I wanted to punch you, I can't reach you.
Right.
So that's the basics of everything we do on the ground is based on I want to be on top, but I want to be on top without having to deal with your legs.
Okay.
If I'm on top and I have to deal with your legs, then you have somewhat of an advantage.
Right.
Right.
And
Now-
I would be trying to get you on your back.
Right. Now,
Okay.
right now, because you are not able to keep me in this position, it's not so great. So
Okay.
you're going to wrap your
Okay.
arms around my waist and cross your ankles. There
Okay.
you go. So now you have the ability to control my movement.
Okay.
Right? Your hands are going to go onto my biceps right away because you don't want me to punch you.
Okay.
Right? Now your other hand can go around the back of my head. If you wanted to pull my head down, now I don't even have the position to punch you.
You can't even see me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what you generally want to be doing from this position is
Okay.
keeping my head down, which we call posture. Posture is proper spinal alignment.
Okay.
So I want to bend your posture.
Put it out of alignment.
Exactly.
Kinda.
Now,
Okay.
generally, I'm going to be trying to grab you, maybe choke you.
Right.
grab
And
you
my
by the
tendency
throat.
would be to grab your hands then.
Right, but
But then you're getting back into posture.
right, but
Okay.
not only that, it's not so much that you want to grab my hands. You can secure my hand because now you're going to break this arm.
Okay.
So I've actually given you the rope with which you're going to hang me.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to use your posture control now to
Right.
push me, and as you do that, your shoulders are going to tuck down towards my knee. So you know what an oblique crunch is?
Yeah.
There you go. Now your left knee is going to swing up towards your shoulder. Now your leg is going to come around my head. Good. Now squeeze your knees together, and you're going to curl your heels down towards your butt. Whoops, up. That's good.
Okay.
Hold my arm tight. Now do that again, and as you lift, there you go. Oh, that's good. There you go.
Why are you tapping? Because
I'm
it's like
tapping
hurting you?
Because my elbow is about to break.
Oh!
So what's happening is, right now you've created a lever and a fulcrum. So
Okay.
the hinge point is my elbow joint, and you're applying all of the force of your hips up into my elbow joint while preventing my forearm
Wow.
from moving with your hands
Yeah.
and preventing my neck and shoulders from moving with your legs. So one more time, lift your hips, and you will break
Okay.
my elbow.
I didn't even know that we were close to a position where I could hurt you.
Exactly.
Wow.
That is the mechanical advantage that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu
Right.
gives a smaller, weaker person on the ground, is it takes your whole body and it focuses on a joint or neck. And that's what makes it the perfect
Okay.
self-defense form for women, for children seeking to avoid bullying, and anybody just that wants to empower themselves with the kind of knowledge that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu offers.
Okay. Very enlightening. And I feel at a disadvantage because you're a lot bigger than I am. I feel like I'm reaching and struggling, but I actually feel empowered that I could have protected myself and hurt you in that environment, which was very strange because I don't like to hurt anybody. We'll be back with more on Go Island after a short break. Not of an elbow. Still ahead today on Go Island, ringing in the Ukrainian New Year and the scene's top 10 in entertainment. That and more still ahead today on Go Island. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV, Channel 4. This is Robert. You're okay there, Robert?
I'm absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. As if I could actually hurt a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Robert's with Island Top Team here at Nanaimo Athletic Club. It's about more than just, you're not out to hurt people, and it's about more than protecting yourself too, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the fact is that you actually could have hurt me because the things that you learn when you learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are not what you learn in other martial arts, which is mysticism and let's just say nonsense like shooting chi at people through your fingertips. What you're learning are correct body mechanics and basic physical principles where a smaller, weaker person can actually affect a stronger person by isolation of weaker structures in the body and application of overwhelming force to those structures.
Okay, and it takes time, practice, prep.
Absolutely, and it takes proper instruction, which is why it's so important that you seek out a qualified instructor like a black belt who spent 10 years in this art and understands the science behind it and can make you understand it in a way that you'll be able to apply yourself.
Awesome. It's been a blast, and we're going to do some more with Robert here later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, you thought New Year's was over? Well, think again. The Ukrainian New Year is still around the corner. Here is Nikki Iwanishin in Victoria. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. That is Robert with Island Top Team. We're going to talk a little bit more about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, if you're looking for some entertainment, David Lenham is the guy with, well, the knowledge, the tickets, and the attitude from what I know about Dave. So we're going to throw things over now to David Lenham. He's here with the Scenes Top 10. We're almost to the end of this edition of Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We've been showing you very small elements of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is a martial art.
Yes.
But it's very distinct from, say, karate or other martial arts,
Yes.
which you do.
Absolutely. I teach mixed martial arts in addition to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is also, again, very distinct from what we refer to as traditional martial arts.
Okay.
And the distinction between mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and traditional martial arts is that in mixed martial arts, we have what's probably best described as pressure testing. So we know this works because we have a highly trained individual who's trying to kick our ass, and we use these techniques on that person. And if we're able to defeat them, then we know it works. With traditional martial arts, you break boards and you punch air and you make believe that you're learning to fight. And you have no idea whether what you're doing works or not because a mystical sensei or sifu or whatever title, a grandmaster who has created a cult of personality around their system and doesn't allow questions or anything resembling real fighting is teaching you stuff that you will never really know whether it works until the wrongest possible moment.
And you're probably upsetting some people out there by
Definitely.
saying this right now, but you're true. This is
Yes,
what you live
well,
for.
yes, I do live for it, and I have studied other martial arts. I have black belts in other martial arts besides Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've done this for many, many years, and yes, a lot of people don't like to hear that, but the fact is, reality is reality, and if you're not doing a martial art that involves pressure testing, so actual application where you have to perform the techniques that you're learning against a resisting opponent
Who's trying
to get you, then you're living in a fantasy world. And that is actually one of the reasons that mixed martial arts is so popular, is because, in the 80s, everybody thought that, ninjas and karate kids were cool because we just didn't have an avenue to pressure test. And we do. And we know what works in a fight now, because if you've seen an Ultimate Fighting Championship, you can see what works in a fight. And mystical nonsense does not work in a fight.
Awesome. And we're going to come and visit Robert and the Island Top Team in a class in the next few weeks. I'm going to hit an abs and below class in my journey to my skinny jeans, which is going a little bit slower, but I am making progress and I'm celebrating successes. We'll share some of those with you also in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.